What's going on, everyone? This is Car from NY coming to you guys with another video. We are going to be discussing day one of the combine, which had the tight ends as well as the quarterbacks and receivers. Now, there was a couple wide receivers that really stood out. Also, a couple quarterbacks I liked as well, and we're gonna get to that. Is there anything you want to add to that? Any guys that you have that you like that you saw during the combine?
Yeah, hey John, just Big Sean here. Today was a really good day. It was the first day of the combine. We saw some quarterbacks, not a lot of great quarterbacks out there. We saw a couple, and then I was more focused on the wide receivers. The only quarterback that I was really impressed with was Jordan Love and stuff. We know Burrow didn't do anything. Tua didn't do anything. They didn't compete. We saw Herbert. He looked a little nervous out there and stuff today. And then just some of the quarterbacks that to me, they didn't perform as well as they should have. Last year's quarterback group was a lot much better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually want to talk about that real quickly because there was actually two quarterbacks that I really liked, and the quarterback that I really liked was that actually stood out to me that I think the Giants could use, maybe if he falls there at the 4th or 5th round, would be Jalen Hurts. I think the Giants, not to compete with Daniel Jones or anything, obviously for depth, and if he turns out to be better than what he than people expect, the Giants could use him as a trade asset to maybe trade for a player or also use to get a pick. So that's a guy that I liked as well.
It's like how the Patriots would always do that. And, you know, if you follow Green Bay, Ron Wolf, the general manager there for like over 20 years or so, said always draft a quarterback because you get to develop them and then you can trade them and stuff, you know, get some draft picks. And then Bill Belichick always would, you know, draft quarterbacks too, as you see what he did with Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's done that with some other quarterbacks that he had in the past. You know, draft them, develop them. You know, we know they wasn't going to play with Tom Brady, but then trade him usually on draft day or in the offseason and stuff.
Also, another guy was Jacob Easton. He was a guy. He's tall and he's got a big arm. He reminds me of like how Flacco or Stafford or Josh Allen have that big arm, and they can launch that ball down the field. That's also a guy that I could see the Giants picking if he's there in like the 5th round or something like that they could use as a backup quarterback to groom as well, use as an asset.
Mechanics weren't good. But, you know.
But yeah, he's got that ability to throw that ball down the field. But we mostly, and also the tight ends, there wasn't the tight end group was probably, if you ask me, this is the worst tight end group I've seen in the draft. I watched all the tight ends. I've watched pretty much most of it. He got to see more of the receivers. I saw the first set of receivers, but the tight ends, they didn't look good. The only guy I really liked was the tight end out of Florida Atlantic. He was okay. I think but the Giants won't be drafting him early anyway, so I don't expect them to draft a tight end. But we're gonna get to the receivers real quick. We're gonna start off with what we have written down. These are guys, we looked at their 40 time and we looked at the way they run their routes, how quick they're getting out of the routes, how many steps were they taking during their comeback routes, stuff like that. We have a couple guys. I mean, there's some guys that really stood out, some guys that didn't stand out. We don't have them on this list, but we're going to start off with what you have written down right here.
Yeah, I got a couple wide receivers that I like today that I saw. Like just right off the bat, the first two was Michael Pittman out of USC. You know, I'm very high on him. He's 6'4", solid player, had a good career there. He ran a 4.52 today. He ran really good routes and caught the ball.
He
looked impressive. You know
Michael Pittman, he's a guy, I think after this day he had at the combine, he definitely moved up whether it was from the 4th round to the 3rd round. I think he did from his performance today.
You also Chase Claiborne, who really had a great day. Wide receiver at Notre Dame. He's another 6'4" guy. He ran 4.42. Surprised a lot of people today at the combine.
Yeah, official.
He had a good day, so he made him some money today, just moving up because he's probably like a 5th, 6th round. Probably going to go in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I think if you ask me who was the best performer today in the scouting combine, I'm going to say Chase or Claypool. The Giants have already met with him, too. They met with him this week. This is a guy that I am really high on, especially after seeing this. For a guy that's 6'4", running a 4.42, you can't ask for anything better than that. His tape explains it as well. This guy is a legitimate threat when it comes to being in the red zone.
I got to look more, check on his tape. There was also Denzel Mims, very athletic guy out of Baylor. He's like 6'2", he ran a 4.39. Baylor had that wide open offense there with Matt Rule was the coach there. Now he's in the NFL with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, and Mims is 6'3", too, so he's got some height, and he fits what the Giants are trying to do, especially in the Eric Coryell offense that Jason Garrett will be running. He's going to be good on the vertical routes, the post, with also, guys are going to get distracted, the DBs, by guys like Evan Ingram and Saquon Barkley coming out of the backfield. This leaves guys like Chase Claypool or Denzel Mims open, giving them a chance to get the ball.
Yeah, if they are drafted by the Cowboys, by the Giants, they'll be coached well because the Giants got a lot of good experienced coaches out there. Also, another guy, Donovan Peoples-Jones of Michigan.
That's my team.
He's got a lot of talent, but sometimes he doesn't show up for the game. When he's out there, doesn't play to his potential.
But he's 6. I think he's 6.
He's like 6'2", 6'3". He ran it like a 4.5.
And what I like about him is his build. His build, he'll be able to last in the NFL. I believe.
There's also Quez Watkins out of Southern Miss.
He ran a 4.36.
4.36.
That's
another
really
great
good.
athlete. Another guy who made him some money. He was probably going to go in the 5th, 6th round. Probably moved up to the 3rd or 4th round. You know what I mean? And the last guy I had was Kendrick Rogers, another skyscraper type guy that their Giants are kind of looking for. He's like 6. Yeah, Kendrick Rogers at Texas A&M, 6'4". He ran like a 4.52. Another guy who's athletic but probably played with bad quarterback play at Texas A&M. See, some of these guys played with bad quarterbacks when they probably even would have had better seasons.
Yeah, like Kendrick Rogers.
If they had bad quarterback.
Yeah, Kendrick Rogers played with Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond was not the greatest quarterback at Texas A&M. And I have a buddy, he's a big fan of Texas A&M. He complains, man. I mean, I haven't seen Kellen Mond do much for these receivers, but Kendrick Rogers in the combine looked pretty good. I like what he brought. I would like to see him better on his route running, but he did pretty solid. He made some good catches.
Yeah, there was some really good receivers. This is probably one of the best wide receiving groups coming out in the NFL for the draft this year. I mean, you saw it on display at the Combine. If you didn't get a chance, go back and look. You can still at the NFL Network, or you can go on YouTube and watch it. There are some really, really talented wide receivers. The Giants are definitely going to be able to get them another good, or maybe even 2 wide receivers if they're looking to get 2 in this draft. This draft is loaded. It's like that 2014 when Beckham came out and Sammy Watkins and stuff and all those.
Also, another guy. I have a couple guys that we didn't get to talk about, but Van Jefferson. He was a guy that I was looking at as well. He got his report about his. You know how they have to go through an injury report before they get to go to the actual combine. And he didn't pass it. He had some type of bone fracture or something like that. So he's going to miss 6 to 8 weeks. He's from Florida. Van Jefferson, outside receiver. He has some height. That's a guy I was high on. Now I think he's going to go probably in the 5th or 6th round now. He was probably going to go 3rd or 4th. But he slipped just because of that injury There's also a tight end. If you guys know Moss's son, Randy Moss's son, he's a guy that he did pretty.
Moss?
Yeah, Thaddeus Moss was actually pretty good. He doesn't have the height, but he's also a guy.
He's like 6'2". Right?
Yeah, he's short, but he's a guy that makes pretty good plays. Another guy that I was high on, but he wasn't there, was Colin Johnson. He was a guy I really,
Texas,
and he's a guy I really thought should be in the combine because he needs to show that he can perform and be ready for the upcoming season. I really wanted to see what his 40 time was going to be, and I really wanted to see how he was going to work with these quarterbacks on these route running. So
another guy, 6'6", raw, needs
talent.
coaching. He needs coaching. He has talent, but he needs coaching. Wasn't really that high on the quarterback he had at University of Texas, but he's going to get drafted, and he'll be there around the 4th or 5th round of Giants interested in him. I'm quite sure they'll attend his pro day down there in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And they'll get a better look at him and stuff. And, the Giants also, they had some meetings with some guys. I know they met with Thomas today at the Georgia, the offensive lineman. They met with Derek Willis yesterday.
Also, another wide receiver. I wasn't really high on what he did today. Antonio Gandy-Golden, he did pretty solid, but his 40 was a little slow to me. I want to see a guy run between the 4.4s and 4.5s. But when I heard what's his name, Steve Smith and Michael Irvin were talking about, the greatest wide receivers there in gold jackets didn't run the fastest 40s. I mean,
historically, if you look at Jerry Rice ran a 4.6.
Michael Irvin ran the 4.57, I believe.
Or 4.6. But they had great game speed, and they're both terrific. They were terrific wide receivers. Now, they're in the Hall of Fame, of course, and they both have a couple of Super Bowl rings, to go with their Hall of Fame status. Those guys are great players. Sometimes some guys they're faster in the game than they are on the clock or the watch. You know what I mean? They just play more game speed. Game speed when they're in the game compared to getting up there and getting clocked and running at 40. That's just the way it is with some guys. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins is a very talented player. I think he's the best wide receiver in football in the Houston Texans, and he ran like a 4.58 or 4. But the guy's a great player, and he's got great game speed.
So that's gonna do it for today. But tomorrow, at prime time, we're gonna have the place kickers, special teams, offensive linemen. Will be out there tomorrow. And this is a big day for the Giants.
Today was a big day, but tomorrow is a
big day. And running backs will be there as well, so you'll be able to see the running backs. And the running backs, I think the Giants will be able to get one of those top 5 running backs because one of them might be there in the 3rd or 4th round that the Giants can get as a backup. So that's one thing to look out for, Giants fans, tomorrow. On Saturday, there'll be the D-line linebackers because I know you guys are high on Isaiah Simmons. You will see him Saturday night. And then Sunday will be the DBs. It'll be from 1 to 6 p.m. Central Time, 2 to 7 Eastern.
We'll be looking at and just, they drafted 3 corners last year.
I expect them in free agency
better. You have a better coaching staff than I feel any other way. But, like our page, give us your comments. We want to hear from you. We want feedback from you. We'd like you to watch our videos and
just comment down below and subscribe, and we will make sure we get this info out to you guys as soon as possible. I was gonna do a podcast tonight. I think I'm gonna do one tomorrow, just because I want to get more in detail and watch more tape. Watch more tape. Yeah, I'm gonna watch more tape because I missed the second group of receivers, some of the drills they got to do, so I missed a little bit of that. But that's gonna do it all for us, Giants fans. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below. Email me at cartfromny@gmail.com if you have any questions, or you can DM me at cartfromny on Twitter. But that's gonna do it all. I'll catch you guys later. See you.
Go Giants.